Hey, what's up, world? Just wanted to cut this video. Whether you find this video on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, no matter where you find this video, just wanted to share it. It's a real disservice to not share things when they're really, really valuable. I was just thinking today, I'm at the gym, and I'm just super grateful that I'm actually here today. Just in general, I'm grateful that I'm here, but I'm also really grateful that I'm actually lifting today. I did some buys and some tries today. I haven't been able to do any weight training for weeks, so it makes me really grateful. Before I share my health challenges and stuff like that for this winter, I just want to say that I know that a lot of people have it worse than me. We all have our shit. It's a saying, like, everybody's got their shit, right? But I wanted to share this because it's real valuable, because my beliefs, I believe that my beliefs about fitness and exercise are real valuable. So I'm just going to share my story here, the winter here of 2022, 2023, and hope you get some inspiration from it, and encourage you to not have any excuses, for working out and for fitness and that kind of thing. And maybe you can apply it to other areas of your life too. That's usually the way things go: exercise, business, work, spiritual life, family life. Everything is similar in different ways. You can learn different lessons that apply to each area, from other lessons. But so basically this winter, I started out this winter with a knee problem. My right knee was really bothering me. I was having trouble getting up. I was having trouble running, and I like to run. I love to run. I was having trouble running, so I went to go get an MRI for it, and I couldn't actually get an MRI unless I did 6 weeks of physical therapy, unless I wanted to pay cash for it. So I didn't want to waste my money, especially not knowing what was wrong with it. So I did the physical therapy. I entered. I did that. So I did the 6 weeks of physical therapy. Then I finally got an MRI on my knee. And during that time, I was only able to lift. I was not able to do as much stuff from the hips down. I was like lifting, buys, tries, chest, shoulders, back, lower back, abs, doing some leg stuff, but I was a little bit cautious of what I was doing. And I found out from that MRI that I had a torn meniscus in my right knee and cartilage damage in my right knee. So, because exercise is such a big part of my life, I said, well, I'm going to work out this whole time while I figure this out. So I kept continuing to work out from my waist up, from my hips up, everything, neck, wrists, like anything I could think of. I always like to say there's always the least sore muscle that you can work out. So there's never really an excuse to not work out. You can work out every day. That's my firm belief, and I don't think anyone can change my mind about that, okay? So anyway, I ended up getting these injections in my knee, like the chicken fat injections, like once a week. And I was scared. I'm scared of needles. I'm like, oh man, you're going to be doing this. And I got those injections in my knees once a week. And what I decided during that time was, you know what? I'm going to do this 3,000 push-up challenge. I decided I was going to do this 3,000 push-up challenge for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. I can relate to that a lot. I'm not going to get into that part either right this second, but I did the 3,000 push-up challenge for St. Jude during that month. So there was no excuse for my hips down, my legs not being great. I just worked out the top, right? And I ended up doing that challenge, and I ended up, 3,000 push-up challenge is 100 a day. So I actually ended up doing 5,000 push-ups. I started out with 300, kept doing like, 200-300, and then I would skip a day here and there. And I ended up at 4,000 push-ups, like a couple days before the end of the month. And then I decided, all right, I'm gonna take a day or two rest like you would if you were competing. And I decided to do 1,000 push-ups on the last day, the 30th day. And I ended up doing 1,000 push-ups the last day. So I did 5,000 push-ups total. So I was like, feeling good. I'm like, all right, during that whole time, I was getting those knee injections, and my knees started feeling better from the physical therapy and from the knee injections. So I was able to run again. I was able to run again. I'm like, all right, I'm running again. I'm doing stuff on the bottom. Then I have this mark on my chest. I decided to get it checked out. So I go to a skincare doctor, and they end up cutting out a chunk of my chest, like about the size of a penny. And I end up restricted from the top now. Now I'm only able to work out the bottom half, right? So I got a hole in my chest, and I'm actually doing jujitsu and stuff like that too. And I'm telling them, like, I can only drill. I got this hole in my chest. I can only drill, while I'm here, for a little while. So they get it back. They say no news is good news. So they end up calling me back from that about a week later, and they say, hey, Dan, just calling you about the skin we tested. It turns out that you have cancer, and you got to get in here sooner than later to get this to get it cut out, right? So I'm like, oh man, for like a day or two, I'm like, whoa, man, the C word. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna die, And then 3 or 4 days later, I say, I'm going to conquer this. I'm going to conquer this shit. That's what I said. So I'm going to conquer this shit. I just made a decision to do that. So from there, I ended up going back, and I had to get my chest cut out about like the size of a silver dollar this time. And then they stitched it together like that, right? And then they say, now you can't lift anything for a couple weeks again, just after I was able to start lifting again, because the original hole was cut out. So then I'm like, all right, I guess. And they say you can't lift much or do anything real strenuous. So I say, all right, well, I guess I'm going to just do bike, from the hips down, I'm going to do bike. And I'm going to power walk. So I had to do that for for like a week, and not really lift or do anything strenuous because I was afraid, right? So now here I am on like day 10, 11, about day 11. I'm finally decided that I'm going to start lifting because it feels like it's really together now. And the funny thing about today is 2 days ago, right behind here, I had a tooth extracted, and I'm actually haven't been able to chew food for the last 2 days. So I'm in here. My teeth are real sensitive, and I'm in here 2 days after that. I still have this hole in my chest. Just had a tooth extraction, and I'm in here lifting weights, and I feel emotional, like, oh man, I'm finally lifting again. So as you can see, I went through a lot of challenges this winter, dealing with that, with getting the knee injections, the skin cancer, and then the tooth extraction. Not being able to do things and move the way that I normally move. So today I feel good, and I feel a little bit emotional, that I'm able to get back in here and work out the way I do. But I'll tell you why I worked out through all that, and why I do is my true belief for myself, and this don't have to be your belief, but my true belief for myself is just that I just won't be happy unless I work out. I won't be happy unless I exercise, so it's such a big part of my life. And I just want to encourage other people to work out and to exercise and to make it part of their life, because not only can it help you get through challenges like those challenges, and like I said, I know a lot of people have a lot worse challenges, harder challenges than those, but I just want to share my real story, my real truth, to maybe inspire you. To work out too, and to push through challenges, right? But my true belief is this: I just won't be happy, if I don't work out. And I learned years ago from Tony Robbins, he says motion creates good emotion. Motion creates good emotion. And during that process, I'll tell you right now, raw truth, felt depressed, man. I felt depressed. Even though I was working out, I felt depressed. But I can only imagine how much more depressed I would have felt going through all that stuff. So right now I'm starting to see the light. My teeth are like real sensitive today. And I still have this hole in my chest. It's like bandaged up right now. Like you see, it's like underneath of there is like all stitches, But here I am, and I'm starting to see some light, So So, if you listen to this from start to beginning, thanks for listening to my story. I'm happy to share, my challenges of the winter, and I encourage you, to make no excuses. You know what I mean? I didn't make any excuses the whole time. As far as exercise goes, I mean, I did feel like I had some excuses sometimes, like about the things in general. Like I don't feel up to that because this is beating me down so much, and it kind of made me not feel good. You know what I mean? At times, but I pushed through the whole time. So I am proud of myself, for pushing through this whole winter the way that I did. So anyway, hope you got some kind of inspiration for that. There's no excuse, for not exercising and taking care of you. One of my uncles, he always says, nobody will take better care of you than you. So always take care of yourself, right? So hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.